Jai Baba. This is Adi Dubash of Karachi speaking. I first met Baba physically in 1947 at Madras. The first impression I have of Baba was his entering the Madras station in a train. His hair was open, the pink coat, and he was catching hold of a strap and standing in the compartment. That is how I saw him first in my life, physically. Then, of course, we proceeded to the place where we used to stay in Madras. We dropped Baba at at the house where he was staying, and then we proceeded to Adyar, where Minu Karas and myself used to stay. Next morning, we went to see Baba, and there was quite a crowd. The program went on for 3 or 4 days, and on the last night, Baba called Minu and myself to stay with him under the same roof. We had our dinner there, we slept under the same roof with Baba, and next morning, when Baba was to leave, we traveled with him on train up to Pune. Baba got down in Pune, and we proceeded to Bombay. That was my first meeting with the avatar of the age. One afternoon, we were playing Larisk with Baba in the side room of Guru Prasad. So it was my turn to deal, and I thought I'd give Baba all the aces. So I dealt and gave Baba all 4 aces. After going ahead a few hands, Baba called me, and I said, are the cards trumped up? I said, yes. So then he twitched my ear, and believe me, that twitching lasted for quite a few minutes. The sensation would not go. I don't know if you ever had that experience, being twitched by Baba. And then, whichever party lost had to rub their nose. So I always preferred to play against Baba because it gave us a chance to rub our noses in his presence. A chance very rarely given to anybody in presence of an avatar. At one of Baba's sawasis at Meherabad, Baba was standing up and the prayers were being said. I'm not very sure whether it was prayers or the aarti. And I was one of the big congregation gathered there. All of a sudden, I felt some sort of a whirling on the left side of my body. And when I got up, I saw people round about me. I was sitting on the floor. I said, what happened? They said, you dropped unconscious. Believe me, I don't know what happened, how I dropped, or any marks, or nothing to show that I had fallen down. And they told me I was unconscious and I was up and about, and I never felt anything after that. Quite a few such instances I had seen happen there. Other people falling down like that. But when it happened to me, I didn't know a thing. I had seen similarly other people fall unconscious. And on that occasion, when Baba's attention was drawn, he just said, leave them alone. Don't touch them. And after the prayers and all, they were all okay and not a sign or scratch on them. One day, a few of us were sitting with Baba, and all of a sudden he tells me that when you go back this time, you will make a lot of money. Do not be lazy. He again repeated and told me, you will make a lot of money. Do not be lazy. And I did my best, to the best of my ability, to keep up to Baba's a promise I had given to Baba. I used to work till 2 and 3 in the night if need be. And the money did not pour, but it rained. Baba was in Satara, and my wife Rhoda had been to visit him. So Rhoda was gazing at his face and admiring it. All of a sudden, Baba turns round and tells her, "I'm old now. What are you admiring? There's nothing much to admire." So Rhoda said nothing. Then again Baba said, "Do you love me?" Rhoda said, "Yes." He said, "Would you give me anything I want?" Rhoda said, "Yes, Baba." "If I ask for one of your sons, would you give them to me?" Rhoda said, "Yes, Baba." And then again, as usual, the talk carried on, and everything was forgotten. After some years, my second son fell down and had an accident, and within half an hour, everything was over. So it was then that Baba's words struck us. He had just asked her casually, "Would you give him to me willingly?" Rhoda said yes. And it was all forgotten about, but only when it happened after years, it came back with an impact that what Baba had said had happened. And we most willingly surrendered what was his to him. No regrets. Everything is his. Nothing is ours. We were just his keepers for 4.5 years that he lived on this earth. So, even today, we remember our son with love and reverence, but not as our own. In the arti that we sing, it is said, "Tumra hi tumko lotana." So it was his own that we gave back to him, surrendered to him, with love, with happiness. I've heard many stories from Baba lovers coming there, the wanderings they had, the masters they met, the sadhus and sants and they went after, and all that, all the hardship they had been through. But fortunately, by Baba's grace, I never had any such struggle. I knew of Baba as a child because Minu Kharas, who had been to police training school in Nasik, had seen Baba. And at that time, he used to stay with us. So whenever he came home from Nasik, he used to tell us stories about Baba, used to sit around on the bed, listen to him with admiration, wonder, love. But till 1947, did not have the chance to see him physically. So I presume I am one of those few, by Baba's grace, who took to Baba like a duck takes to water. I'm sure quite a few of you must have been at the East-West gathering in 1962 at Guru Prasad. There was a big shamyana put up at the back of the building. On the first day, Baba talked to us of rain. He said, "What would happen if it rained?" I don't know if any of you noticed it, but as Baba put his hand down, motioning, if it rained, what would happen? As he brought his hand down, the rains came. It started pouring in spite of bright sunshine. When he finished putting his hand down, it started pouring. See, when in Pune, we were allowed to go to Baba in the mornings. In the afternoons, we used to go back for lunch and then again come back on bicycles. So one afternoon, Rhoda, Merwan, and myself, we were coming back to Guru Prasad after lunch. Merwan was almost riding in the center of the road, and a car came from behind at breakneck speed and missed him by inches. He The driver of the car bowled at Meherban, shouted a few hot words, and carried on. But there was another man going on the bicycle, and he said to Meherban, a man we had never seen from Adams, that Bhagwan has saved you. That very time when this accident happened, Baba was in the Guru Prasad side room, sitting with a few people. So before we reached Guru Prasad, Baba used to keep on inquiring every few minutes, has Meherban come? Again after a few minutes, has Meherban arrived? Again he would keep on asking that. And when we arrived, somebody said, Baba, Meherban has come. And the matter was forgotten. But when Baba retired to his room, some of the people sitting there told us that every few minutes Baba used to keep on inquiring about Meherban, and that was at the same time when this accident almost got him. When this incident was brought to Baba's notice, he stopped Meherban from riding the bicycle whenever he came to India. He could ride it in Karachi, Pakistan, but not in India. So next time when we went, either he had to take the rickshaw or foot it out to Guru Prasad. I'm not very good at remembering dates or incidents, but I think it was in 1965, the last savas we had with Baba. He used to call me and Meherban, my son, in his room. He used to make us read the papers to him. Sometimes it was me. Then when Meherban joined us, Meherban used to read the papers to him. Then we were allowed to press his feet. That was the first and the last time we had that opportunity. And one fine day, when Baba was lying on bed in the side room at Guru Prasad, he asked Meherban, he said, do you have any intentions of marrying? So Meherban just didn't say anything. I intervened. I said, Baba, he's already married. That's all I told him. And he said, with me? I said, yes, Baba. So he tells Meherban, don't you listen to your dad, he's mad. If you want to get married, you can get married. Go ahead. Very often, whilst playing cards or giving discourses or sitting with Baba, Baba used to remind us that never forget I'm God. Everything else is zero. I've come down to your level, but never forget, he used to keep on repeating that I am God. I'm asked that what was my feeling when Baba said, I am God. To be frank with you, there was nothing extraordinary that happened, because I knew that that was just a statement of truth. Baba was God, and when he said he was God, it was not something extraordinary to me. He only reminded us, because at times we were apt to get very familiar whilst playing cards or giving out jokes. So once in a while, a reminder like that brought us down to our right level. At one of the savases in Meherabad, Baba once asked Minu Kharas and me to cut each other's nails. I had to cut his nails, he had to cut my nails. I mean, what the significance was, I never bothered. Baba told us, and we did it. I'm not one of those who goes into whys and wherefores, or reads many books or discourses. I believe in doing things to the best of my ability. What Baba has said, I try to put into practice. If you ask me about discourses or to give lectures or speak, in fact, this is about the first time I've ever spoken. Once, while sitting in the side hall of Guru Prasad before Baba, there were quite a few of us. And all of a sudden, I gave a big yawn, and Baba saw me. He got so angry and just told me to walk out of the room. He says, you yawning when I'm sitting there? Just get out, he says. And believe me, I walked out without without any hesitation. I was sitting out for quite some time. And then after some time, I think it was Gohar or somebody, who told Baba that Adi Dubash is sitting outside, and Baba said, all right, call him in. And again I went in and sat down. At one of the Savasis in Guru Prasad, Baba regularly used to hand out sharbat to all of us in the afternoon in the dining room of the male Mandali. Baba used to sit on a chair, and we all used to stand round with our mugs or glasses or whatever vessel we had. And Baba with his own hands used to dish out the sharbat to each and every one of us. One afternoon, the boys who used to keep the cups and all clean and ready for the sharbat had slipped up, and the cups were not ready. And that is one time we saw Baba really get angry. I mean, not only the boys, but every one of us, I'm sure, was shivering, seeing Baba in anger. It was literally fire coming out of his eyes. After the whole episode was over, we went back to the side room. Baba called the two boys, petted them, gave them sweets, and everything was forgotten in a matter of minutes. Another afternoon, we were again sitting in the small room at Guru Prasad. And Baba told Meherji, I'm not very sure, but I think it was Meherji, to close the shutters or the door. And before Meherji could get up or do it, up jumped Aloba and closed the doors and shutters and everything and came back. And that was another time when we saw Baba get real angry. Because he told Aloba, I've told you hundreds of times to do only that which I tell you. I told Meherji to close the doors, not you. So again he made Meherji get up, close the shutters and the door, and then go and sit down in his place. That was another time we saw him get real angry. He wanted to teach us, I suppose, what discipline is. I mean, the difference between Baba getting angry and an ordinary human getting angry is absolute, what do you call it? What I mean to say is this, that when a human blows his top, he just does it out of anger. He doesn't know what he's doing when he's in anger. He just lets steam fly off and cools himself. It is not so with Baba. He does it just to teach us all round about the gravity of the situation, to put it right down our throats, what he means, and not just blow his top as we humans do.